Hey Brick Bloggeteers, Will here, and today we're looking at an upcoming set that's going to be released in June, set 31153. Now when I got this, I thought it might be called something like the Beach House or Modern Beach House, but since I've built it, since then, I actually saw it's actually called the Modern House. Well, no, just Modern House. I still don't know a price on this, but given the fact that it's over 900 pieces, it'll probably be around $100, give or take. So let's see it. It's from the Creator line, and it's a build 3-in-1. I like to build the biggest one, the one that's featured on the box, because it's the one that uses the most pieces. This does not look like a house that anyone lives in. It actually looks like a house you'd vacation in. Especially given the fact that it's by the beach, you got the shoreline, you got a little lap pool up in front, some palm trees. On the side, you have a side door to get into the house. On the inside, you've got some pretty fancy furniture in there. So on the first floor, there's a dinette off on the left side with a round table, round chairs, basic things that look like drawers in the back, a stovetop area with a couple of pans on it. Above that is a sort of reading room with a bookshelf in the back, a very interesting chair that uses curved slopes to help make up the back part of the seat and backing, with a little plant, and a very interesting rounded lamp, not lamp, but light fixture up at the top. Moving into the center, we've got the foyer of the house, and not much there. Above it is just a hallway, so again, not much there. But that hallway does lead into the front. I guess you would call it a patio, like a upstairs patio area. Okay, on the far right, we have a living room. It will be kind of hard to see, but there is an electric guitar off on one pillar. There is a glass coffee table. There is a little drink set out on a table and a chair. It actually looks more like a love seat, given the fact that the seat is 4 studs wide, and then you get the arms. Then on the second floor, you actually have a bed with a very, very open shower. Now the shower's flooring has a lot of rock design. It's one of those things that doesn't look comfortable at all to stand on, but you can see it in shows where they rebuild houses and make everything look fancy. And a little rubber ducky behind a front pillar that's back in there, right by the bed. Might not be too easy to see. All right. Then we move on to this side of the house, and you got that interesting method in which it just sticks out over nothing. So if anytime you're taking a shower, and you look out the window, you'll have this very open, free-floating view. You also get a nice view of the palm trees. You got 2 sizes, a small one and a large one. I do like all the claws that they use to help make the palm leaf branches look very spiky and all over the place, and then combine that with the bowl-shaped flower that they've made in recent years. And then we're back to the front. Now there is a couple of free-floating elements. Let me pull them off. There's little cherries and some little flippers. I'm gonna move them aside so that we can look at the underside, because this building is built very interesting. So they make it modular, not so that you can play with it, but so that it's easier to build. And you can see with each of these squares, these are where all the modular elements are. Now for this whole front element, because it's so flat and not a lot of height in it, there's not a lot of need to secure it all together. So what they ended up doing was making this one giant piece and then making it so it fit into these more squared structured elements. And it's not even connected. It uses a half pin, half axle just so it fits in. And then once you get it all slotted in, They then went through and added tiles and other pieces to further connect it all together so that it doesn't actually fall apart. Of course, you do get 2 minifigures, a man and a woman. They each have dual-sided faces. The guy doesn't look very different from one side to the next. I think just one side has a little bit more stubble. The woman has her sunglasses on, and then the other side doesn't have sunglasses. This also has a whole ton of glass. So this is one of the reasons why I would say it's also a great set for those looking for a lot of parts, because this is the type of stuff that you will need if you're trying to make a large-scale building. In fact, one of the other builds is more of an apartment complex build. So from the techniques, from the parts, this is the type of set that you're going to want to pick up if your goal is to build high-rise buildings. They didn't make it too high here, but it has all the pieces necessary. I mean, you may need a couple more copies of it in order to do that. Overall, it's a simple build, but it has a lot of character, and it has a lot of character in its furnishings and just how fun it was to make those in such a bright open area. In fact, I even thought it was interesting. You can see a little bit here on this side, there's a couple of clips and bars. So this whole front facing window is actually just clipped into the building. And it's not meant for play again. It's just meant so that they could get these elongated door/windows to be turned sideways and built that way. I had a blast building this set. Didn't think I would, and I do recommend it. So again, this is set 31153, Modern House.